Right, final map guide. So, yeah, let's get started. This is a strat if you have a CS. Obviously, if you have double fast medium tanks or double CS, I don't know, one bat or something like this, you should play the hill, IMO. But if you don't have any fast medium tanks, I don't think it's worth risking going hill. Like if you have Ninos or, I don't know, patterns or whatever tank that can't go up the hill normally should not go up the hill here. So I would normally just play the second strat that I'll show you. But yeah, if you have a double fast tank or even one fast tank, I would go to the hill. More than likely, they might have one. They might have one medium going hill, and obviously you try and hit him with your fast heavy tanks or medium tanks. So hopefully your guy wins the hill, but you know, it's literally just 50-50 on who has the faster tanks. So I guess it is a bit more risky. But yeah, if it becomes a stalemate on the hill, depends again on the tanks, but normally I would just pressure the rock. You just play here with your whole team, and you just try and fuck them from two sides and trade effectively, basically. If they come full mid, if they come close, I mean, obviously if they're like sitting back here, then you're chilling. You just take the hill. You might like try and bait out some shots and then go the hill if there is one other person. But yeah, it depends on the hill fight. If you're gonna win the hill fight, you might just turn and go back to base with like I don't know, a tank, maybe two. But yeah, probably only one tank really, to be honest. But yeah, you just do that and you have a fine mid. Simple as. I can't really extract more than that. Focus fire and all that shit, you know. If they are not coming hill, you know, your CS goes up, he sees nothing, or he sees maybe one tank here. You know, he just takes the hill. You rotate the rest of your team back instantly. Normally like this, and like it kind of depends. Like if you think, if you're very worried that they might repush the hill with more, you could just keep your medium tank also in mid, so you have two here. But normally I would just rotate with this guy out wide. You kind of need this guy out wide to try and get some shots on the cap, really, because like from this building you can kind of like reset some angles in the cap. I think this house is in the cap. I could be wrong, but yeah, I mean you can reset this angle. Obviously, if they go here, you have some other angles. But yeah, if you know they're going like this with their whole team, you need to pick on what you want to do. It normally depends on how much they go out wide with and into the cap. If they have three in the cap, you will probably have to sacrifice one of your heavy tanks or something. If you can't get a reset, just to sit in the cap and just trade off his health slowly, while you just push this this group and kill them if you know if you have that overmatch, which hopefully you should because they have like three in the cap. Though it also depends. Like you could also just YOLO the cap, but like it's hard to decide on the repush really because it depends on how much punish you're gonna take. Because you know if they're all here and you can just drive out wide, maybe you can kill them. So it's I guess it's kind of in the moment of what you want to do, but I think pushing this group is probably better. But obviously you need like these guys to have good crossfire on each other, and hopefully you can just stop the cap. And you know there should be what. I say there's three out here, so there's four here maybe. So it's not a great push. So in that case, you probably actually want to go out wide. But if they have like four out wide or more, you probably avoid the cap and go into this group. It's kind of all about picking the easier group to push, basically. It also depends if you're faster, because like if you're fast enough and they're like just slow tanks going like this and they can't go to the cap, then you're just taking these positions, probably one into the cap, and just slowly cross-firing it off, you know, the guy in the hill and the guy in the cap and these people peeking, and you should be okay. But yeah, that's kind of it. You just decide what side do you want to push. Normally it's ideally the weaker flank, but you should be able to see with like you know the CS going straight to here. He proxy spots the underplay and he can spot people going wide. So you should know what you're going to push into by the time you're you know just getting around the hill to like at least here. So yeah, right here is another strat for North. This is more of a strat for you know you don't have a CS, you don't have that fast medium tank. I'd obviously recommend going for the cap side, because it's very risky if you go hill. IMO. If they have a CS and they go up the hill, you're forced to go up the hill probably, or try and leave, but you get punished for that. So, yeah, going around the hill. Idea is, you know, you have 4 heavy tanks here, you have 3 tanks going out wide. It's your choice if you want to put her in the cap or not. Obviously, depends on how much or what you see. So if they go hill with like half their team, most of the time you want to overpush this group if they have any people here. Obviously, they might come around from behind with some tanks, but if they have anything here, you should just murder it with the 4 of you. You might even just stop capping with anything and just commit to this push, and maybe you keep 1 in the cap just for that cap pressure, but it depends on how much is here, and if you think you need the extra tank to do it. But you know, if they have like 1 or 2, you can definitely just overpush them. Long as you're, focusing out 1, they should just die, really. But yeah, I mean, you do need to be careful of the people around getting you into a crossfire, so you always should push this more than likely. Obviously, if you're very slow and you get to like, you're like here and they're like pushing around here because this guy will see them, maybe you just turn around and kill them instead. Obviously, it depends on many different things, so you just need to watch out if what side you want to push. This one's probably just the easiest to do, because these mediums might run away if they're fast enough, and but yeah, you need to see how much is here before you decide that call. If they come cap, again, it's more like you're probably overpressuring this. I mean, what you could also do, instead of having this guy here, you have him here, and he spots the hill cross, so you know if they're coming over the hill or up the hill. If they come over the hill, this guy just runs back to here just to waste their time, and if they want to chase him, they need to send at least 2 to kill him, so you have the overmatch on this side. And if they chase him with 1, he should be really winning that, because he should be giving 1 shot here, getting back to here, and giving another shot. Obviously, he might bounce, but like he should still be a shot up, so he should really be winning that. And then he can take hill if they're like full cap side. So yeah, if they're cap side, this guy can go up, or you have him here and he just shoots for your team, and you probably overpush into this. That's kind of why it's nicer to have him here, so he can pressure up to the hill, and you have like 3 out wide instead, so you have 3-3, but I think 2 is probably fine. You just need to make sure you don't get caught with these people. So yeah, if they go cap with 3 or 4, they go to here, these guys should just back off and go back to like these positions if they can for crossfire. Maybe you have like 1 guy coming to like this house, but I think probably this house is probably better. And then you try and overpush this group with the guy on hill. If they come back into your like this group, obviously these two people need to give their shot and come back in, and hopefully with the crossfire on hill and these two people coming back in, you should be winning this, because obviously you have 4-5 on fighting this group, and then they have like 3 out probably. So you should be really winning this quickly, hopefully, as long as people are penning their shots. And if they go for this, then you can just kill this. These guys are in pretty good hold down into this dip. They can just go back into the dip. This guy from hill can just shoot these people and then come into their aid, so then these people are even in more crossfire, so like they have really no other option but to come in. So yeah, that's kind of it really for this strat. It's mines after all, pretty simple. Right, here's our first replay from north. We have a CS, or a hurricane, whatever you want to call it, so we are going hill. We also have quite a decently fast setup with our 3 mediums plus me and my BZ. Unfortunately, we don't hit that CS with a lot. Eclipse gets up though, but yeah, as you can see, this is why you don't go up in a slow med, because yeah, that happens. But yeah, now we basically just don't need to care, because we are gun up basically, so we can challenge this pretty easily. We just need to not be playing. You just shouldn't be playing like pussies, basically, in this situation. Like, you just need to like use your health on the tanks that have it and just peek. Like, like if it was like a random, I get it. Like you wanna side scrape off this angle and like shoot this KPZ and chill. But like it's maneuvers, you have 6 people you can talk to. You don't need to. Just fucking use your health. I mean, obviously don't like go sideways on, but like you can peek out, show your lower plate, and maybe they bounce. Like that. He takes, 1 hit, some hits, 2 hits, 3 hits, but we get that damage off. They're all looking at our knight. They give like 3 shots to here, or to him. We punish, kill a guy back. We put this guy to a 1-shot. These 2 people are also allowed to peek, so it's just a lot of worth. We get 2 kills off of that peek, and we traded like what, nearly 1.5, 2k for 2 kills. It's very worth it, right? So yeah, and you can see like now he's 900, other people are pushing forward, so that's just what you need to do, basically. Obviously, if this guy didn't do this, you could probably play a bit more slowly. Obviously, like RCS won the hill pretty well, so like that is your fallback plan, but obviously things could change on the hill, so your CS on the hill needs to be talking, saying if he's going to lose this fight or not, because if he's losing that fight, then you have to play aggressively on mid. So yeah, I mean, pretty easy game. After we got that free kill on 277, T22. Right, here is a second replay from North. I thought I would show you more of a game of going cap now. Obviously, we do not have the setup to go hill. You technically could, but I think it's such a risk where I don't think it's worth it. So, yeah, we send our Leo here. This is against Tilt. So, yeah, we are just going towards the cap now with 3 tanks. It's basically our Russian tanks that can go fast. And we see that they are crossing over. And we do good punish on them crossing. However, we basically get caught here. Really, we should be going back to here, most likely. Just to survive, really, and then we can have the Leo helping, but Chris decides to stay to try and help us crossfire, but he probably should have been, like, really the ideal setup would have been 2 tanks here, like me and Taurus. Ideally Eclipse runs maybe earlier as well. Maybe you'll have to call that obviously when you see a lot more crossing. Obviously they have what, 5 here? Yeah, 5 here. When you see that many tanks, you should just be going back here with your 3 tanks, ideally, and then you can push this with 3 at least, and have this, your Leo helping this maybe at the start if you're not going to win this cleanly, and then he can come over and help this, because I mean, if you have 3 tanks here, they're never going to push this. Even 2, they'll probably push. If you have a guy here, they'll push that, or most likely they'll push back into this. But yeah, because we don't really clean this guy very easily. Like, we lose 1 tank and we basically trade his health off. We also can't kill the E5 very well, so we leaves him on a 1-shot. Well, a 2 if you're the E5 gun. Yeah, I mean, obviously now they have 2 guns up, it's becoming a bit more lost, basically. So yeah, I mean, you can learn things from this game. Obviously, you need to get out of the cap if they're pushing it with 5. And go back and take the positions for crossfire, and you'd win that. I mean, health is surprisingly even, but like that's because our Leo has all of it basically, because he's been out the game the whole time. So yeah, something you can learn from this game, I hope. And yeah, I mean, the game kind of close in the end. They had a 1-shot and 600 health, so if we don't lose Eclipse for only doing 900 and me and Taurus actually go back to here instead, I think we would have been in a much better situation. Right, here is another replay from North. I think since it's kind of mines and it's kind of I don't know the right word, decisive, I guess, or like one pivotal call you need to make to go push it or go win. I thought I'd show you just kind of 3 games, probably from each side. But yeah, obviously we don't have a CS in this game, so we are kind of forced to pressure the cap. Again, like it is a risk, because technically we could have pushed the cap here, or the hill. Like, you just don't know that they only had an EBR and a scent. If we push with a double medium tank, we probably should win the hill. But yeah, Obviously, because they've come so close, we can definitely just repush this, especially because we're going to lose a round, or we should lose a round, because they have an EBR and a Ascent, right? So we need to push into their heavy tanks here. Spoiler alert, our Ascent does very well in this fight. I think the Ascent, he bounced like 3 shots here, so that's very nice for us. But yeah, we just need to pressure these people. Really, we should be doing this like a lot better. We should probably just push across to this house to kill this 5A after we've killed like this guy and this guy, because we got them so low. There we go. And yeah, we bounce off the KPZ, but kill the AMX. Now kill the 5A. Now we can kill this 5A because he's isolated. Our Ascent somehow, you know, trades 1 for 1 with Ascent, even though they have an EBR and help. So, you know, there you go. Make sure Taurus is alive here. I stay here just to push away the CBR so he can't pressure Taurus, and now we just push towards this 279 and 60p to basically finish off the game. Kind of annoying that they're playing this out, but I guess they want their they want their kill to get some points from the game, so I guess it's fair enough. But yeah, a nice game I think for this. Obviously it would have been a lot worse. If this Scent died, like really he should be only doing like 3 or 4, probably only 3, possibly 4 shots on this Scent. But we should still win this, I think, with that guy. Though anything could have happened, obviously. But yeah, nice game. Right, here's from South. Basically the same thing. You go full hill. If you have like a very slow heavy, like an E100 or something, you can just send him towards this way at the start, just to like most of the time, if there is a hill fight, he's gonna be like turning here anyway, so it's fine. And he's not gonna get in the fight anyway for a bit of time, so like it's okay to wait like an extra like 10-15 seconds for him to come anyway, because it should be a stalemate on the hill, and if not, then you've probably already lost anyway, so like it's fine. But he should be like around about here, so turning is not really that much of an issue. But yeah, I mean, if they're full hill, hopefully you get your tank on the hill, and hopefully you win. You win the hill brawl because you're punishing. You can go further out wide to get the better shot, and then come close. I mean, it's like up to you, I guess. Like you can leave some tanks like out wide, further out wide to try and get that shot in, so they have a better shot. But that's up to you. So yeah, if they come hill, you try and punish. If you win the hill, fantastic. You can then decide what you want to do. Most likely they're going to be forced to pressure over the mid, or they're just going to be put into a crossfire eventually and slowly die in under 2 minutes. So yeah, that's really it for if they go hill. If they go cap side, you basically are turning instantly with all the heavy tanks. What you might want to do actually is like send 1 heavy tank over with 1 medium. This medium can stay on the hill. Then you send these 3 heavy tanks back to join your slow heavy if you have one. And yeah, you just then push into this and you come like this. You might, if you have a fast tank, he will probably need to go into the cap onto like the church building or whatever it is. Yeah, it's a big building anyway. Here, this one. I think you're inside the cap here, so you can just delay them. And obviously, when they have to peek on you, you decap them. So cap should be a fine. And while you're doing that, you're just dumping into this group. Obviously, you do need to be careful how many tanks they have, but if they're going cap with 3, they should only have 4 max here, so you should be okay. If there's a guy here, it becomes a bit more dangerous. Honestly, like if you spot it early enough to just stop here and just turn around with your whole team and keep 1 tank on hill, I would do that. But obviously, if you're like over here and you spot him, it becomes very bad, to be honest. You're probably going to be forced to pressure this guy with something, or you just have to rotate onto the hill and then come off the hill from one of these directions. Because like I think going for this guy is kind of just a misplay. Just because you're going to have 2 tanks out, your cap is going to be very scary to decap because you're going to have 4 people basically going into 3. Like, it's a bit iffy. So yeah, ideally you spot it like here when he shoots you, or before you go around this corner basically, and I would probably just turn around honestly, or go on to the hill and jump off this way, or this way. be careful. This is a very dangerous. Well, it can be dangerous if you don't do it correctly. You need to go off this way. You should see like the soft ground, so you should be able to know where you're going off there to not take any damage. Um, but yeah, I mean, you just pressure into this group ideally. Obviously, you do need to be careful of like them re-pushing into you, so you just need to see like what their positioning are or positioning is. Like obviously, if you see them turning for this group, you just back off a bit more, and yeah, this guy should be in the cap obviously, and yeah, you just go pressure into this group. The CSs can either cover from here or here. I think this is probably the better location because you can get resets on like the back of the. I can't even see the cap on the house on this, but I think it's like this one here. You can, if they try and peek onto these people, you obviously you can get a reset, and if they pressure this guy, you should be able to help them when they cross over like this, you know. Yeah, that's kind of it really. Yeah. Right, final strat. Um, yeah, same thing basically from the south. So you have one guy watching the cross on the hill, so you know how much is coming hill. This guy obviously just runs back to here if they do decide just to YOLO over. Hopefully taking 2 tanks out of the game. You're then probably just pressuring into this group with like, I don't know, 1 in the cap or something. Obviously it depends on how they play. If they're full hill, they're gonna be probably coming back to this. And yeah. You just go pressure into this because they have 2 out probably, and you should just win this. Really, because you have 6 tanks. Really, unless they're in like amazing crossfire positions like out here. But like if they've come close to this house at all, you should be able to kill them. Obviously, if they're further back, I wouldn't commit. And I'd probably go towards the cap. But you do need to be kind of careful. Like if they have a guy on hill, then yeah, it becomes a lot more difficult because you might be like rushing forward the cap. But you know, if they get that 1 reset off and they kill this guy and then they get back in time, then you're kind of lost, right? So I don't know, if they have 1 guy on a hill, 2 guys going out this, then you're probably just forced to pressure with your whole team and kill this guy before these 2 people come back into the game. And this guy obviously will be on the hill shooting you the entire time, but like you can maybe just put like 1 guy in the cap afterwards. You kill all these people, and hopefully you should win. Yeah, if they go cap with 3, again, you're just going to this building with 1, and you're probably pressuring with every other thing like this. This guy can take the hill, and yeah, now you're just shooting the back of cap. You're pushing these guys. This guy can also help. This guy's just delaying the cap. You just overpush this group, and hopefully you win. Really. Yeah, I mean that's kind of very simplified, but I mean it's mine, so can't really explain more than that, to be honest. Obviously if they go cap with like 1 and you can't pressure this, you're probably forced to go out wide. But you'll probably have to do it like delayed of like, I mean if it's only 1, there's no cap pressure really, so you can probably just like play around here for the minute, try and pressure these people off, and then decide if try and cross something into the cap to decap. But like honestly, people can't avoid the temptation of like peeking out to try and shoot this guy. So like normally you should be okay on the cap if this guy is just like paying attention. But yeah, that's it really. Right, here is a replay from south. We are playing hill because again we have a CS and we have a BZ. Well, we just have a CS really. Obviously we're playing our 3 medium tanks still. So we can just aggress middle. We see nothing mid, so basically we are turning. However, I get the grand idea of actually continuing with my BZ because I was boosting anyway. So me and Max are just going to push around the hill. This guy's incredibly slow. I don't know if he didn't have turbo or what, but like us being able to be here to punish is kind of weird. But as you can see, like they have 3 in the cap. And yeah, we can just put Chris in. Technically, you want to put your like hardest tank to kill, so technically the TP. If all 4 of you are here, or all 4 the heavy tanks are here, then you could split off a bit easier. But as you can see, like well, I mean, they have like decently fast-ish tanks that went into the cap, but like we have so many angles now, especially with this angle with the careers. Getting to this church now, they definitely can't cap, and we've just isolated these 2 people. Yeah, if there was 4 here, we still probably push this, but just because we're around them, and yeah, as you can see, obviously RCS comes with the hill because he's not going to get any more shots, and he goes for the 780. That's on a 1-shot. And now it's just all about focusing fire. Obviously we're 3k up, so we should be kind of fine here. Obviously the focus fire is not amazing here, but we do get them kills. And yeah, now we can just kill the DM. Split off obviously to try and save each other. Like we have our knight going to try and make sure we win this game, so Eclipse doesn't die, and we have us 3 here to make sure this E50M dies, and we don't lose any more tanks. So, yeah, a pretty well played game. Right, here's South. Again, we're going capside because we don't have a CS, but we have one guy spotting the hill to see what is coming. We see one Hurricane, we see a Sand, we see a 1-to-1B. Now it's your choice of, like, do you want to play the cap or just push in? Because they have 3 out, I thought it was more than fine just to go dump into these people. But you should wait until they get a bit closer. Like, now is probably the perfect time to go push it now. Obviously they do have 4 here, and they have now a guy on hill. But because they pushed so close, I think it's definitely doable. Obviously, if they stayed back here, it would have been iffy to push them, I think. But you might have to do it, to be honest, to stop it, because sitting in the cap is like you're risking it, really. Because if they get 1 reset, they'll get angles, and then you'll probably start to die. It's iffy. So yeah, obviously we can get some kills here because everything's low. I mean, we even repushed the hill here, so yeah, game is won. We just catch these kind of 2 people coming close, and I guess 1 person, sorry, and then we can catch these people as well. So there you go, really. Yeah, that's kind of it. Right, final replay of this series. Just another one from South here. We have a bat, so I choose to go hill because our double medium, so it's like maybe better. We have a pretty decent lineup. Obviously, we have the VKK, so I'm sending him wide. They have a bat here, so obviously this is very risky from them to send 1 bat chat straight to the hill. But to be fair, it doesn't work out the best for him. He takes 1 shot, but so do I, technically. But yeah, as we have 2 mediums, going around on the hill, so we can get a shot at the 452K. And yeah, now they're obviously all close here. They're not going cap, so you can, well, not all of them, but now they have 3 in the cap. But like, we haven't done too bad at punishing them, and we have 20 seconds left, but we have some people around. We obviously have Chris on the outside that can pressure towards the cap, but we have a decent amount of angles where we can play. These people do need to be careful of the repush, obviously. But no, now they've kind of turned around for these people. We are pressuring this side so we can get into the cap. Now it's all about getting the focus fire in, basically, to get some tanks out. These people are obviously the first people we should be focusing out here. So yeah, we just need to come, like, Max needs to use his health, basically, to get into the game and kill this Type 71. So he gets him. In the meantime, obviously, they've just pushed onto these people we've put onto the cap because, it's easy kills. So they kind of get, like, careers kind of for free, and these 2 people are, like, struggling. But, yeah, we just need to go after the C5 with the 9-0 to get him out, get the angle again. And now it's basically all about using our knight's health and Max's basically his health / DPM to get some kills. Coordination here, we tell the guy to shoot down the house so we can get a shot at Herman. Very nice team coordination there. Does take a lot of our knight's health away, but yeah, I mean, Max should really be just sitting on this side. I got killed by the bat chat. I don't know how I'm spotted. I guess. I guess he has the bush on the house, so he gets him or gets me killed. Max gets the I7, after some time, but he got him nonetheless. This, the Batchat peeking for no reason, so we can get him, and now it's a 2v1. Obviously, if this was a 2v2, I think it's probably lost, because the Batchat just, waits for Max to shoot at the 260 and comes in and kills him. But yeah, quite a chaotic game. Obviously, this enemy team is very good. So they will punish you for a lot of mistakes. Like, I mean, technically, probably Chris's play was like maybe unnecessary, but Max not killing the I7 quick enough, and maybe our knight losing a bit too much health to shoot the I7. But a nice game. I thought it showed enough of not to panic too much about the cap. But obviously, you do need to make that call to probably cross over to it with your heavy tanks.